Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode zero of Ground Zero Growth, or I guess episode one. This episode is going to be short because I'm really just kind of talking about the structure and rough flow of the podcast and ultimately what I have envisioned for this to become. To simplify things, really, my goal is to interview really interesting people, professionals, folks that I know within my network, and folks that I'm interested in meeting and getting to know more and then essentially put that in a podcast style format. Uh, I don't want to put too many rules around it necessarily. Otherwise, I think I'll present it eventually and quit. But we do need some rough structure. The podcast itself is going to be interviewing interesting people, yes, but then stress on business professionals. We're going to try to push the growth aspect of it. So, what are some elements that brought you to where you are now? What are some of the difficulties you've experienced along the way? What are some of the problems that you ran into that we can kind of learn from? And then really trying to kind of dive into those human elements. What makes us people? What were some of those moments where like you felt like you didn't belong, but you got over it? How did you get over it? Or what are some of those moments where you realized I'm going to need help and a lot of help? What are some elements where you needed help, but help wasn't there, or help was right next to you the whole time and you just didn't realize it? So, really kind of trying to dig into that for business professionals with business professionals to kind of understand and get to know and explore the human element of things. I'm probably going to have a sponsorship slot maybe towards the beginning of the podcast. In the initial, that'll be shouting out awesome people that have kind of helped me get to where I'm at currently. But then, kind of as things progress, that might actually be a formal paid sponsorship in which that's what fuels the podcast. Um, the goal is to have the podcast to right about an hour, although I don't really want to cut off a bad conversation or a good conversation if I can avoid it. And then I'm going to try to release the podcast right around 10 a.m. on Thursdays. And then obviously have the speakers lined up and interviewed before that. The podcast itself won't be live. I'm going to be recording it in advance and can edit kind of as needed. Yeah, that's the rough framework of the podcast. I look forward to talking to y'all and interviewing folks. If you've watched this thus far, it means I've already got something of an audience. So look forward to seeing you in the comments section. And hopefully, I look forward to seeing more and more folks on the podcast. Thank y'all. Have a great day.